crafty babes, it's Andrea, and today I'm going to take you through how I work through a weekly pocket page spread. I have transitioned back to a larger format for 2019. If you recall, 2018 I did a 6x8 and ended up with 4 albums for the year, which was not what I was hoping for, but that is what happened, and I was really happy with having a bit more freedom and being able to do out-of-the-pocket kind of stuff. But I decided I really miss my big weeks, so I did 9x12 because I feel like maybe that's a good happy medium, and so far I have been very pleased. So this is week 7, and I've got my my blank pockets ready to go. I've got all my photos out, and I'm just going through my 4x6 cards first to pick basically one because I only have one 4x6 pocket, but I'm just starting here. And then I'm going to grab some 3x4s and start picking ones that have a theme that kind of goes with the photos, as well as colors that go with the photos. For me, everything revolves around the photo because the photos are the stories and they're the visual story. And I have to, in order to make this fun for me, I definitely need to make things coordinate and match up as much as possible. So it seems like there's a lot going on at home for us this week. So I've picked several things that have to do with being at home and the weather and being cozy and food, just that kind of thing. So I'm picking a lot and then I get to narrow it down based on color and feel and just kind of how I feel things are going. So I am going to start that process now, and then we'll see how we get on. But my typical formula is to stagger the photos and the cards. So I'm typically never going to have 2 photos next to each other, and I'm not going to have 2 cards next to each other. It just feels like that's a good balance. It helps me make sure I'm not overwhelming my pages with too many photos or too many cards. So that's a typical place for me to start. And that's what you're seeing happening right here, is that I'm fiddling with where things are going to fit and what cards feel like they're going to fit. I don't want too many that are too dark, and I don't want too many that are too busy. So this whole process right here is actually my very, very, very favorite part, because it allows me to just kind of build the foundation for my whole entire layout. I have a half page on the right or on the left, and then a full 9x12 on the right. And, you know, I'm able to mix and match sizes based on how many photos I have. So from the previous week, I had, I only had enough room for a 9x12 and a 6x12. So here I am doing the same thing on the other side. I'm starting to decide on some embellishments. So I've picked these little cutouts. I don't know what they're called. I just punched them out, but my friend Asia gave them to me, and I like the uniformity and I like the colors. For 2019, I have decided to make the weekly title card using the Carrie Bradford numbers stamp. And I'm choosing to do that so that things stay consistent, and then I don't have to think about something new to do every single week. I'm just being very, very easy on myself so that we don't have to get too crazy and I can just move along in the process. So I've stamped these out on white cardstock, and turns out that I liked the 7 from the second stamp, and then I like the 0 from the first stamp because I like that it's not perfect, and I like that it's got that little bit of impression that's missing. So I've decided to cut that one out. And the purpose of cutting these out, fussy cutting them, is because I want to give them a little bit of height with some foam tape and I wanted to just make them pop off of the card just a little bit more. And I'm going to be placing them right on top of this label from Made in Mojave. She has made a bunch of really super fun label sets that you can find in her shop. And this is a set that will be available soon. And then I'm using this week in review little stamp that I'm using maybe every other week. I believe it's a Felicity Jane stamp from many moons ago, but I've got a bunch of stamps that I use regularly in a little dish, and I've forgotten where some of them have come from. So my fault, but I use them a lot, and I decided to do the dish situation instead of getting them out of the plastic every single time. And I decided I wanted the pink of the label and the lines showing through that 0, so I decided to fussy cut around the middle as well. So I'm just snipping up some of my foam tape to pop those numbers right off that label. And then I will stamp using, I think this is a coral, I forget the actual name of the Distress Oxide. Those are my favorite colored stamps. I'm so happy that I got back into colored stamps and that I found a good brand that I really, really like. So I'm doing the Stays On in black for the date, and I'm just putting it there on the side, just kind of doing a little offset. I kind of like things to not be so symmetrical these days. It's kind of rocking my world. I like it. I have this Let's Eat card. I believe it's from Studio Calico, and I'm trying to figure out if it's too much blue over there with that Wednesday little circle. I think it is. I don't think I keep it there. I forget. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. I double stamped the date with the coral and the black, but instead of doing a full black, I actually did the second generation of the stamp, and I ended up not really liking it. I kind of wish I didn't do it, but we are where we are, and I'm not going to fret. And then when I do journaling on cards that don't have preset lines or like a grid or something for me to guide my letters, I always will go in with pencil and make myself some rough lines, because I tend to get a little off kilter when I write if I don't have a good guide. And then sometimes I'll decide to keep the lines there if they feel like they look nice, and other times I'll erase. And actually, I'm really proud of myself right there. I did not pre-write my journaling in pencil, which I normally do. I guess I'm always just worried that what I want to say is not going to fit, and so I write it in pencil first, and then I rewrite it in pen. Well, I decided to use this Friday die cut for, oh, and then I ran out of staples, of course. I'm trying to staple it onto this little photo of Marshall being super cozy in his bed on a Friday night, just watching, I don't know, he was either playing balloons or watching a YouTube video, or I think he was playing balloons, because at this point Balloons TD6 was out, and he was super into it. A lot of balloons. If your kids play games on the iPad, you probably know what balloons is. It's really fun. They get a little bit of trajectory and physics, and it's a fun one. So I'm just using this Stay Cozy card from In a Creative Bubble and writing about what he's doing there. I'm looking for a stamp because I'm probably looking for some words. Oh, I'm going to put this right underneath this gorgeous little house, which is also from In a Creative Bubble. And it says feels like home. And I really like that. I really like that, obviously, because I stamped it there. Okay, so up next is this little square photo of Charlie in the kitchen. And I like to use cards that have some room for journaling and place a photo on them. And then I'm using the Blue Wednesday one there on that card because of the contrast, and then I don't feel like it's too much blue hitting that other card. It was also on a Wednesday, so being the literal scrapper that I am, I can get down with using the correct date, correct day of the week. Here I am going to try to stamp this little heart on top of the date of the week that it is, and I end up not liking it at all. So I'm also trying to put this little piece of washi there. It's not working for me. So I'm actually going to get my white out and white over that whole row of the days of the week, because I've already got the day of the week right there on the Wednesday little circle thing. So I'm going to white out the whole thing, use a little strip of this new washi that's this gorgeous floral, and I'm going to place it right on top. So then adds a little bit of color on top, brings in a little bit of the orange and some green and some blue from the other parts of the page, and then just a little teeny tiny strip of washi to bring that blue in. I think that's good. I think I stamped something. Yeah, I think I'm going to stamp. I think it says shenanigans. When I'm doing this voiceover, my screen is not terribly huge, so I can't really see what the stamp says. I'm thinking it says shenanigans. So, what's next? I keep saying so, and I'm really trying not to do that. I think it'd be better if I just was silent instead of saying a word to just fill in the silence. But here I am writing between the storms, in between storms, because there was a little break in a couple of storms. We had so much rain this winter, which was really wonderful for California. And I really like the rain for a, small amount of time. I'm trying to figure out a place for that little cloud because it's really super cute, but I'm not sure. I forget if I end up using it. We'll see. We'll see together. We're on this journey together. I really like doubling up and layering with these little layering circles from the Reset Girl, and I've actually started punching out like packaging and different pattern papers and stuff just so that I can have some extra little things to use for added color, and that's been really fun. And I am trying to figure out something else to put up here. This is just a photo of me painting my nails like on a Thursday night. I really have made it a priority to keep my nails painted. I've always really enjoyed doing like the jamberry nails, or just making sure I have a nice neutral or a fun bright red or something fun. It's just kind of something I've always really liked doing. I like to have my nails done. I always do them myself though. It's very rare that I ever actually go get my nails done. That is just not, I don't have time for that, and I've done my nails for so long that I know exactly what shape I want them, and I don't want to have to tell anybody about it. So I'm happy and content just spending a little time doing my own nails. So here I've got this striped card and this little quote, and I'm just trying to find the best way to make it pop off the page and not be too distracting with other colors. I feel like nothing that I'm putting on this card is really working out. I've turned it upside down, or I don't even know which way is the correct way at all, but I'm just kind of flipping it to see if it feels better one way or another way. Nothing's really working, so I'm going for a neutral, this little ruler, and I'm just, I think I'm done. I really want to add this label up here, and then this gorgeous like rainbowish kind of washi tape from Studio Calico's March kit. Oh, I just wanted to find a place for it, and it wasn't working. Every place I put it felt like it was just too busy, so I peeled off a teeny tiny little edge of it just so I could get all the little stripes, and I put it on that card, and then I switched them because I felt like that was the right thing to do. I think I'm going to switch something else around. Sometimes I do settle on where I want things, and I never move them around. But other times, once I start decorating, they feel right in another spot. So that's what I'm dealing with. I'm into washi layering at the moment. Like, it's kind of really fun for me. I think it's because I just got a lot of new washi in my stash, so I'm having fun with some of the colors. And it's just a really easy way to add some color. Also, I trimmed the top off of that yellow label, and then I used the bottom of it for another photo. So that's something that I like to do as well, is like have things hanging off the edge and then using the other part of it somewhere else so it kind of ties in and feels, you know, like it belongs. And I'm trying this word strip thing here, but the white colors are different. Like, one's a grayish color and one's a really bright white, and it's kind of bugging me. So I'm looking through these Illustrated Faith word fetty strips and just trying to find something. I find this yellow and I decide on it, but I don't, yeah, I think I stamp. Yeah, that's my go-to. That felt so much better. I was not feeling that yellow on yellow. And I think we're in a cleanup stage. I always clean up after my layouts. How about you guys? Let me know in the comments if you are a cleaner-upper after every layout, or if you let things go until you can't find your desk. I actually asked this question on Instagram. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, you should totally follow retrohipmama on Instagram, because I post a lot of cool, fun things there, and we have a blast with conversation. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little watch me work, and we will talk soon. Bye, guys.